Let's talk about something that quietly makes people anxious, overwhelmed, and eventually depressed, often without them realizing it. It's called catastrophizing. This is when your mind takes a small event and instantly turns it into a disaster story. Not because you're dramatic, not because you're weak, but because your brain learned a habit that feels protective, even though it's hurting you. Today, I want to help you understand what catastrophizing really is, why the brain does it from a neuroscience and research perspective, what it looks like in real life, and how to interrupt it using practical, evidence-based skills. I will also share a personal faith perspective at the end for those who find that grounding helpful. If we haven't met yet, my name is Kelly Reyes. I'm a certified life and mental health coach, and I work with people who struggle with anxiety, overthinking, emotional regulation, and thinking patterns like catastrophizing that keep them stuck. This is one of the most common and most exhausting patterns I see. Catastrophizing is a cognitive distortion. That simply means your mind is presenting a story, not a fact, and treating it as truth. It usually sounds like, "This is going to ruin everything. If this happens, I will not recover. This always ends badly. I won't be able to handle it." What's important to understand is that catastrophizing is your brain confusing imagination with reality. Your body reacts as if the disaster is already happening, even though it exists only in thought.
Did we just lock our baby in the car?
Did you put the keys in the bag?
I put the keys in the bag. That's
oh,
what we
Mitchell, I
always put
told
the
you not to put the keys in the
Don't freak
bag.
out. Come on, don't freak out.
Oh, Lily, it's okay. I'm breaking the window!
Emergency assistance, this is Trina.
Well, help, we locked our baby in the car and people are judging us.
I swear to God, I'm gonna break it!
Do not break the window, you'll get glass on her.
Let me give you a realistic example. I worked with a client, let's call her Sarah. Sarah received a short email from her boss that said, "Can we talk later today?" And that was it. Within minutes, her mind went straight to, "I'm in trouble, I'm probably getting fired. If I lose this job, I won't be able to pay the rent, I will fall behind, I will disappoint everyone." By the time we spoke, she was nauseous, fearful, tearful, and completely drained. Here is the key point. Nothing bad had actually happened. Her anxiety and emotional pain were being caused entirely by a story her mind created. Later that day, the meeting turned out to be about a simple scheduling change. That is catastrophizing. Now let's talk about why the brain does this, because this is where a lot of shame actually disappears. From a neuroscience perspective, catastrophizing isn't a personality flaw. It's a threat detection issue. Your brain has an alarm system called the amygdala. Its job is to scan for danger and react quickly. It doesn't ask, "Is this likely?" Instead, what the amygdala asks is, "Could this be dangerous?" When there is uncertainty, the amygdala fires. And the logical part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, comes online a little after. If the alarm system is overly sensitive, it hijacks the thinking system. Research on anxiety consistently shows heightened amygdala activity, reduced prefrontal regulation, and elevated stress hormones like cortisol. That is why when you catastrophize, your heart starts racing, your body tenses, your thoughts loop, and reassurance doesn't seem to help. Your nervous system is responding as if the threat is real. One of the most important research findings here is this. The brain doesn't reliably distinguish between a real threat and a vividly imaged one. So when you repeatedly imagine worst-case scenarios, your nervous system learns the world is dangerous, and over time, this leads to chronic anxiety, that is constant anticipation of danger, and eventual depression through mental exhaustion and hopelessness. Your brain isn't broken, it's just overtrained in threat. When catastrophizing becomes a habit, something subtle but powerful happens. You stop believing I can handle things and you start believing things will overwhelm me. Psychology calls this learned helplessness, and it's one of the strongest contributors to depression. Now let's talk about what actually helps. What I'm about to share is a coaching tool for awareness and skill building. It's not therapy, but it's a powerful place to start. The first step is to name the thought. When you notice the spiral, say to yourself, this is catastrophizing. You're not arguing with the thought, you are only labeling it. Research shows that labeling thoughts activates the prefrontal cortex and reduces emotional intensity. You are creating distance between you and the story. Next, separate possibility from probability. Ask yourself, is this possible or is it likely? Anxiety treats possible as certain. This step brings accuracy back into the picture. Ask a regulating question. If this did happen, how would I realistically handle it? This restores a sense of agency. When the brain remembers that you can cope, the nervous system begins to calm. And finally, return to the present moment. Ask, what problem exists right now, in this moment? And most of the time, I can tell you, the answer is absolutely none related to that. And that matters because the nervous system cannot stay high alert when you are grounded in the present. Now, I want to pause here. Everything we've talked about so far stands on psychology and neuroscience alone, but I also want to share my personal perspective. For me, as a Christian, this work is not only psychological, but it's spiritual. I've learned that catastrophizing is often a sign that my trust has shifted. When my mind starts rehearsing worst-case scenarios, I notice that I'm trying to take control of a future that was never mine to carry. My faith reminds me that I'm not called to live ahead of myself. I'm called to live faithfully in today, trusting that God will meet me in whatever tomorrow brings. So when a catastrophic thought shows up, I don't challenge it mentally. I surrender it. I bring my attention back to what is true right now, and I choose trust over fear. That doesn't mean ignoring problems, but it means that I stop suffering in advance. Whether your grounding comes from science, faith, or both, the practice is the same. Notice the thought, name it without identifying with it, ask what is true right now, and return your focus to the present. Stop rehearsing futures you cannot control. You don't need certainty to feel peace. You need clarity and presence. If your mind constantly jumps to worst-case scenarios, nothing is wrong with you. Your brain learned a survival habit, and what the brain learns, it can unlearn with practice, repetition, and intention. You don't need to silence your thoughts. You need to lead them. I'm Kelly Reyes. If this helped you, let me know in the comments and feel free to share it with someone who needs it. Peace doesn't come from predicting the future. It comes from being present right now.